Hey everyone, Wolf Lord Rho here. So, with the big hype of a possible Emperor's Children Codex later in this edition, and obviously the excitement that comes with the arrival of Fulgrim, should it all happen of course, today we're discussing what we currently know of the Phoenician, the latest teases and references of him in the lore. So obviously a general spoiler warning here to begin, as we will be referencing events from across the Warhammer 40k universe. And so you have been warned, and with that said, let's just jump straight in. Okay, so Fulgrim's most definitely been one of the most elusive Primarchs since his ascension to demonhood. His soul enslaved to the god Slaanesh, she who thirsts. Quite simply, he left the material galaxy behind, immersed and embraced in the indulgences of the god of excess. Lorgar managed to drag him back to the war for the Siege of Terror, but it wasn't long until Fulgrim became bored and departed. And ever since then, well, he's largely been referenced from afar. However, within the 40k era, there has been several of those references in recent years. It began immediately with the return of Reboot Guilliman and the Gathering Storm campaign. Before Guilliman had even departed Macragge for Terror, Fulgrim, sensing his brother's revival within the warp, would possess the Arch-Console of Macragge, becoming the first brother Guilliman would interact with since his reawakening. Here Fulgrim would taunt Guilliman with words of temptations ahead. A brief but clear sign of Fulgrim's interest once again being piqued. Within the first installment of the Dark Imperium trilogy, it would begin by showcasing Guilliman's death during the Scouring at the hands of his brother Fulgrim, the Phoenician completely outsmarting his brother from the very beginning of the campaign, luring him into a trap. Here Fulgrim would slash Guilliman's throat with one of his poisoned blades, requiring a huge sacrifice by the Ultramarines to retreat with their fallen Primarch's body. And around this time we too receive the story of Fabius Bile, creating a perfect clone of the Phoenician. One still as the Phoenician was meant to be, loyal to the Emperor. Though this would be imprisoned by Trazyn the Infinite, but the very knowledge that a pure clone of Fulgrim was out there somewhere was absolutely tantalizing. And this was really the time rumours of Fulgrim's real return and arrival to the tabletop were running rampant, where it felt like an absolute certainty. I know we discussed it several times, but it wasn't to be. And after that, Fulgrim's appearances became far more vague. There was a rumoured sighting of a serpentine beast with multiple arms upon battlefields within Imperium Nihilus, which certainly appeared to be teases of Fulgrim, certainly no one else. And within the Iron Hands 8th edition Codex supplement, there was a reference of the 3rd Company Captain Grolvok giving his life against Fulgrim, buying time to allow the evacuation of refugees. But after that, not really anything else. A quiet for seemingly several years, as other Primarchs took the stage, such as the World Eaters with Angron for example. That wasn't till a few weeks ago, however, when the Emperor's Children novel Lord of Excess came along. While nothing explicit, yes, a poor choice of words with the Emperor's Children, there was several references to their Primarch, something I was actually planning on discussing before the Emperor's Children Index was announced last week. Aside from the general references to the Primarch you get with every Legion, there was a very intriguing mention of the Noise Marines of the Legion hearing the Song of the Galaxy, a song that will lead them to the Palace of Slaanesh and a reunion with their Primarch. And the Noise Marines sing because it is close at hand like never before. Yes, Xantine, they sing because we are close, closer than ever before to finding our Primarch and uniting our Legion once more. Xantine fought hard to not roll his turquoise eyes. He revelled in Vavisk's brotherhood, but the Noise Marine always wanted more. The flight from Abaddon's band of barbarians and thugs had rekindled the spirit of unification in Vavisk's breast, and he longed now to bring the disparate and capricious warbands of the Emperor's children back together, under the patrician gaze of their ascended Primarch. Guiding him on this mission was a song that Vavisk claimed to hear, an undulating, primordial rhythm that he desperately attempted to capture in the hope of finding the Palace of Slaanesh, whereupon their Primarch could be convinced to return to his children. Like I said, nothing too explicit here, but a definite reference to the return of the Phoenician. And Xantine, for his part, the leader of this particular warband, admits Fulgrim's return is the only thing that could ever truly have a hope of unifying the Legion, as divided and preoccupied as it is. And this would have been a great little breadcrumb and tease at any time. However now, with the revelation of the Emperor's children being removed from the Chaos Codex, all but certainly surely receiving their own codex in the future, it feels far more than just a breadcrumb now. It feels like a very relevant and important moment. A nod to the Phoenicians coming, that the warp-attuned Noise Marines of the Legion can hear it, that they know it, that they are on the cusp of their Primarch's return, a reunion, that the galaxy is calling the Legion, the sons of the Phoenician, home. So it certainly appears that it's not just Fulgrim, but Slaanesh too, who is invested on whatever is coming next. We've had Nurgle, we've had the Emperor, we've had Khorne. Now could it just be Slaanesh? It definitely feels like it's heading that way for me. I think we'll have a little discussion on that soon too. However, specifically for Fulgrim, we have seen him heavily involved with Guilliman, the first of his brothers to taunt the returned Primarch on his rebirth, and we have seen teases or sightings of him acting within Imperium Nihilus, and we of course know Guilliman's invasion across the Rift is imminent, on its very eve at last mention within the novel Genefather. And now we have the Noise Marines of the Emperor's children, hearing a song echoing out across the galaxy that will lead them to their Primarch, calling them to the Phoenician. Who knows exactly where it's going to go, the events that are going to transpire. But at this point, it definitely feels Fulgrim could be gearing up to face his brother Guilliman once again in the war for Imperium Nihilus. But as always everyone, what do you think? Have all the references we have received thus far been leading to a rematch with Guilliman? Will it transpire within Imperium Nihilus? Or will Fulgrim take advantage of Guilliman's absence within Sanctus? Could Fulgrim end up facing Lionel Johnson instead? As far as I remember, the first interaction we will see between the two within the lore, two of the most skilled bladesmen amongst the Primarchs. And is this song the Noise Marines can hear going to truly lead to their prime arc? Could we see more references to this over the months and years ahead, until the fateful moment? As always everyone, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Huge thank you to all my subscribers for your support, it truly means a lot to me, it really does. If you're new, please consider subscribing to help the channel grow, and if you enjoyed this particular vid, then why not drop a like on it too. But with that said, I am off, and I'll see you all again real soon.